Not long ago, we covered the strongest demon slayer to ever live. Naturally, it's time to flip the coin and talk about the most powerful demon in Muzan's elite circle. If you haven't caught the Yoriichi video yet, check the card in the corner, but consider this your spoiler warning, because we're diving deep. As a demon, Kokushibo wasn't just a monster. He was Muzan's most devoted soldier. While others were erratic, he was the embodiment of punctuality, severity, and absolute respect for the hierarchy of the 12 Kizuki. We see this clearly when Muzan berates the upper ranks for their failure to find the blue spider lily or eliminate the Ubuyashiki bloodline. While others tremble, Kokushibo simply accepts the blame. He offers no excuses, only a silent readiness for punishment. He polices the ranks too. When Akaza steps out of line and attacks Doma, Kokushibo severs his arm in a heartbeat, reminding him that if he wants to move up the ladder, he has to win a blood duel, not throw a tantrum. What makes him so terrifying? It's not just raw power, it's his 3 pairs of demonic eyes. He sees the transparent world, allowing him to look inside his opponents. He tracks blood flow, muscle contractions, and points of weakness with surgical precision. It's a level of mastery reserved for those who have awakened the Demon Slayer mark. The ultimate peak of human ability that grants godlike strength at the cost of a drastically shortened lifespan. His first major hurdle in the final battle is the 14-year-old missed Hashira, Muichiro. In a twist of fate, Kokushibo recognizes the boy as a descendant of the family he abandoned centuries ago when he was still a man named Michikatsu Tsugikuni. He praises Muichiro's composure, chalking it up to the strength of his own bloodline. But the young Hashira isn't interested in a family reunion, snapping back that after hundreds of years, there isn't a drop of Kokushibo left in him. Despite Muichiro's talent, the gap is too wide. With a single stroke of moon breathing, Kokushibo severs the boy's hand and pins him to a pillar, offering him the gift of demonhood. The chaos escalates when Genya tries to intervene with a gun. Before the boy can even blink, Kokushibo is upon him, hacking him into pieces. Genya only survives because of his unique ability to eat demon flesh, a trait that makes his head his only true weakness. Just as the demon moves in for the kill, the wind Hashira Sanemi explodes onto the scene. Here, we see Kokushibo's weapon in its full, grotesque glory, a flesh blade covered in eyes and veins, literally a part of his own body. Even though it looks like a nightmare now, it's the same katana he wielded as a human samurai centuries ago. Kokushibo's journey began with a simple, poisonous desire: to surpass his twin brother, Yoriichi. Michikatsu had the better life on paper, but he lived in the shadow of Yoriichi's natural genius. What started as love turned into a bitter, corrosive jealousy. After their mother died, Michikatsu realized Yoriichi wasn't just physically superior. He was more emotionally and intellectually evolved. This realization drove Michikatsu to abandon his own wife and children to pursue the path of the sword. He eventually gained the mark and mastered moon breathing, a derivative of his brother's sun breathing. But he knew his time was running out. That's when Muzan appeared. The Demon King offered him a deal: immortality and infinite time to perfect his craft. Michikatsu took it, shed his humanity, and spent the next few centuries as Kokushibo. 60 years later, the brothers met one last time. Yoriichi, now an 80-year-old man who had somehow defied the mark curse and survived into old age, wept for what his brother had become. Kokushibo was ready to fight, but the reality was humbling. Even as an old man, Yoriichi was so fast that Kokushibo couldn't even react before his neck was sliced. The killing blow was coming, and then silence. Yoriichi died on his feet of old age, undefeated. Enraged and humiliated, Kokushibo sliced his brother's body in half, only to find the small wooden flute Yoriichi had kept since childhood. Despite his screams of hatred, Kokushibo couldn't let go of that last piece of his humanity. He took the flute with him. Back in the present, the fight reaches a fever pitch. The stone Hashira, Gyomei, enters the fray, the strongest slayer of the era. Kokushibo admits he hasn't been pushed this hard in 300 years. It becomes a desperate, coordinated assault. Sanemi, Muichiro, and Genya all push past their limits, with Genya even consuming a piece of Kokushibo's blade to immobilize him. Under the weight of their combined red blades and the Demon Slayer marks, the impossible happens. Kokushibo is decapitated. In a final act of defiance, his head begins to regrow into a hideous, monstrous form. He thinks he's conquered death. But then, he sees his own reflection in Sanemi's blade. Looking at the distorted, ugly creature he's become, he stops. He realizes he never wanted to be a monster, he just wanted to be like Yoriichi. His will breaks. Because he no longer has a reason to fight, his body begins to crumble into ash, leaving nothing behind but the broken wooden flute. The second strongest demon didn't just lose to the Hashira, he lost to his own conscience. That's the tragic end of Kokushibo. I hope this deep dive into his history didn't wear you out. Let me know in the comments, whose story did you find more compelling? The God of the Sun or the Shadow of the Moon? Until next time, viewers.